Imagine being banned for 2 years because you signed up for one event. That is insane. Before we get to the art topic, guys, hope you guys hit the like, subscribe. We do art content in this channel, but we do variety content, guys. So for example, we do recaps. Like I recently did the Evo 2025 recap, where I drew a lot of fighting games throughout the weekend. I'm working on a DonnyboiG Bonanza review / experience with the game with exclusive artwork on there. So you get the idea. It's pretty much like variety content, but it's all related to art. Anyways, let's start the art topic. So what we're talking about today? Well, we are talking about Anime Expo Chibi. This came out recently, I guess like earlier this month or so, about, I guess Chibi has a weird clause in their competition thing when you do their booth in that con expo, and it is insane of what they're requesting or were requesting at the time, because recently they did update it. But I was shocked of what they were requesting of an artist just because you sign up for their event to have an art booth there for one weekend. It is insane. What am I talking about? Well, here it is. So here's the tweet that kind of started it all. It's from V@Sleepy or Barry Lockett, and it says right here, at Anime Expo Chibi, can you explain why your website states an artist paying to event at Anime Expo Chibi are supposedly agreeing to not ban at any other events for 2 weeks, not promote any other events they attend for 2 months, and not to event at any SoCal anime cons for 2 years? Yes, that is insane. So I guess right now Anime Chibi is happening around November. If you guys don't know, I actually did Anime Expo earlier, like a month or two ago, and so that is like, I guess like it's their smaller version of Anime Expo, but it kind of more focused on like artists and like just like a smaller event just to like promote them. And it's only a 2-day event. It's a smaller event compared to Anime Expo, which is a 4-day event that I attend to, and I did sign up for Anime Expo Chibi without me knowing this, by the way, but I'm on a wait list. I did not get accepted on the Chibi version, so I guess good news for me. Anyways, but here's what it says right here. We're gonna read the whole thing, guys, because this is actually actually insane. It says right here, artists agree to appear exclusively at the event and not appear live or live stream at any other convention, concert, or venue within 100 miles of the event during the event, 2 weeks before the event, 2 weeks after the event, the limited places and times, unless SPJA consents otherwise in advance in writing. In any event, if the artist appearing within 100 miles of the event, 2 weeks or more after the event, within 2 months of the event, artists should not announce that or other appearance and show until after the event, because SPJ has invested so much in producing and publicizing the event at which artist appears. SPJ would be irrevocably harmed if artist appears in live or live streaming in limited places, times, and around the event. At artists they are appearing. Artists agreed not to produce, create, or cause to be produced or created by any Japanese culture event or convention in a certain California within 2 years after artist's appearance at the event. Nothing here limits artists from distributing, marketing their own intellectual property through their normal customary distribution marketing channels, and provisions contained herein to mean to exceed the time or geographic limits or any other limits imposed by application law and any other etc, because I can't read the last part. But wow, let's break it down a little bit more. So what a lot of people are saying, that these are for vendors, aka music artists, I guess you could say, but this was also applied into like artist alley vendors as well. It was not just only in like in the general area of vendors, but even if it's just for the artists and music or whatever, that is insanely too. But because it says artists, that's very vague, and be like, wait, are you talking about like for artist alley? That makes zero sense. So they need to really fix that and really like take that out. And well, we do have an update with it later on this video. But continuing, because it says, I'm assuming this is some sort of error on your end, since there's no way anyone would expect people would pay for an event, let alone attend a convention expecting this for their artists. Since people have started engaging with this, but still not AX organizations, let me clear some things up. Here it is right here. I initially read the 2 years rule about being about vending at anime conventions. It actually seems to be about creating anime events. Still ridiculous, but different from what I thought. I want to point out the vague wordings of saying create or cause to be created at any Japanese culture, even in Southern California. Someone suggested it. This is a reference to times in the past at a convention has some under fire for things, and after complaints on social media circulated, people were inspired to make a new event in that area. If that's the case, they are saying that this so that if anyone makes a new convention they think competes with them, can dig up creators complaining about their con and claim a legal issue. So there's a little clearly event, like, you know, what the hell did I just say right there? So you can see clearing things up because the wording is very vague, and they need to like really like clear that up, because that was just like, you're banning me to event for 2 years. That makes zero sense. You know what I mean? Like that, like, again, it seemed that way, but again, that's why when I read it first, I'm like, okay, before we make assumptions, let's not go too crazy. But continuing, note the weird guilt tripping language about how much they have invested in promoting the event, and they would be irreparably harmed if you participate in other events. We absolutely should not be letting that slide or mindset for con runners to be normalized. Same with the way they keep referring to vending artists as appearing at their event. So pretty much like guilt tripping, that's never cool to do. Like, that makes zero sense. Because honestly, there's a reason why a lot of people want to go to Anime Expo, right? It's a 4-day event. It's one of the biggest events for any artist to be made in there. For the most part, you will make your money. Like, it's almost impossible not to make your money back and profit within that show. Anime Expo, though, is actually a smaller event, but it's still pretty big for artists because, you know, it is only 2 days, but it's literally a big chance for you to sell a lot of money within those 2 days. So I feel this is just very weird. Like, oh, we put so much money to this and that. Please don't go to place. That makes zero sense, because when an artist promotes a convention appearance, they usually post multiple, right? Like on the schedule or thing, or they do it one at a time. Of like, oh, hey guys, I'm going this one. Hey guys, I'll be in this one. I'll be in this and this kind of stuff, right? And I don't see no problem with that. I don't see why they think that they have like a big competition where like people like are not gonna go there. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's smaller versions of it, but or other conventions around California. I mean, obviously it's not gonna be one of them, but I don't think there's a lot of conventions or expos that want to like compete with them in some ways, especially if it's like very close to them and within the same month. So I don't think they have to say it. I don't think they have to guilt trip, if I'm being honest. That's just me, because that's just weird. But continue, it says, there are not featured guests or face at the event in any way, shape, or form. You do not own this con exclusively when you are not even being guaranteed payment. Mind you, Anime Expo Chibi Artist Alley is a giant tent. Yes. So if you guys don't know, ain't a big artist alley. It's a smaller tent. Guys, this is a smaller convention. This is not a big convention. There's a big chance if you get in it, and you could make some quite of money. I mean, that's like, I won't say guarantee, but since there's less artists, less smaller area, you have a big chance of at least making, you know, income. I thought this part right here is kind of like trying to clear out why this is like problematic. It's because there are, looks like, it kind of sounds they are trying to stop other conventions or expos or smaller events to grow in the space, because, you know, in one sense, I can see their argument where like they don't want more competition in many ways. I can see that. I mean, Anime Expo has like literally zero to no competition, if I'm being honest, because they're like the biggest anime expo of all places. But this is for the Chibi one, right? If they don't want people to go to other places other than Anime Expo Chibi, well, then they got to do better in the Chibi. That's literally it. Like, do better. What else do you want? Because on this part right here, there's also been a popular free mini anime convention called Anime Night Mart, which I didn't know about that. That's held every few months in SoCal, growing in popularity, whose next day will be affected by this. Our con season pauses after Anime LA until a few small cons before AX. It's pretty clear to me that they are trying to hurt the success of other events in the community to help themselves. This corporate greed has no place in our community. Why would anime fans only want events hosted by one group in entirely to SoCal, especially with their constantly increasing prices and now the disrespect of the vendors and fellow organizers? I cannot speak. So I agree with that, because they have been increasing on a lot of prices in a lot of places, especially when it comes to conventions and expos and stuff like that. That's why there's less people going, guys, because it is getting expensive to go to one of these events. So I could see how that could be really problematic, and why they want more competition, because more competition means less attendees, people going, and you know, less artists showing up because they can't pay for the table fee, etc. It's just like, it's just, if it gets too much, I do understand where if it gets too much, not everybody's gonna win. There's gonna be people who's gonna lose, and it's gonna be very difficult to kind of manage everything, right? But there's also on the other end where like not everybody could drive to LA. People want to be at San Diego, or you know, in Riverside, or in other places within California around this like whole kind of area where they don't want to drive an hour, 30 minutes, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. You know, oh, let me just go a 30-minute drive and go to that part instead, right? I mean, they want access to these conventions in order to like be convenience, and also they don't want to spend a lot of money in order to like meet their favorite artists, or you know, like get a chance to be part of the culture in some way, you know. That's what I see it as. Like I can see it one end, I can see the other end. Let me know, what do you guys think about this? Should Anime Expo, or I'm just gonna call them that, have a case in some ways where like they don't want too many conventions, because too many conventions means less money, less people to attend. But in the other end, that means less events means less money for artists as well, because there's less opportunities and there's less tables and etc. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. So around this time, around August 10, a lot of people thought it was just for the vendor pages, but it's actually also for the Artist Alley. This person said they checked both of them, where like this says right here, you're looking at the vendor's TOS, I'm looking at the Artist Alley TOS. It's very much on the Artist Alley page as well as performers pages. I just didn't include performers in the post because I hadn't been told it was on the same page as well. If you haven't been on Anime Expo Chibi before outside Artist Alley, they have a cluster of vendors selling generic stuff like jewelry and toys, the type of vendors you see at the street fair. So that is part of the difference in the pages. Because of all the outrages, and that was just like one of the tweets, guys, they actually responded, guys. Anime Expo responded. So here it is right here. And we're gonna click on it, make it bigger. I'm gonna make my, you know, webcam smaller so you guys can see it better. Here we go. So it says right here, we've seen some recent conversations about our terms and conditions. Appreciate the opportunity to clarify. Our goal has always been to support artists and performers while fostering a space built and transparency and collaboration. This isn't about limited opportunity, it's about coordinating announcements in a way they respect other shows and helps build excitement. We firmly believe that the success of our artists, performers, and partners strengthens the entire anime ecosystem. Verdance Day weekend was intentionally chosen for Anime Expo Chibi. Now it is in 4th year to avoid scheduling conflicts with other conventions, allowing artists, performers, and attendees to flexibly participate in multiple events if they wish. This year, it just so happens that another event is taking place on the same weekend. While we love to welcome you into the Anime Expo Chibi, we understand that everyone has different plans. We are grateful to be part of such passionate and supported anime community. So, what's happening on the same weekend? Well, I go to this website right here. Pretty much tells me like what conventions are happening in California. And so when you go to November 1, where the Anime Chibi is happening right here, guys. November 8th to the 9th on Ontario, where there's a couple other ones. Pasadena Convention Center, and obviously in Pasadena. We also have PogCon, which I didn't know was a thing. And then we also do have Fandom Con as well on the same weekend. So I'm guessing the big one for them will be the Anime Pasadena one. That's what I'm guessing is like kind of like the competition, because there's the same weekend, same 2 days, same weekend. They're somewhat far from each other, but obviously, you know, you could either drive to that one to the other one. And so I think that's the one they're like did not want to compete with, or they want artists to not be a part of it, maybe with proxies and stuff like that, which proxies are prohibited. You're not supposed to do that, by the way. But you know how people are, they just do it anyways. But yeah, so Anime Pasadena 2025 happens on Saturday, Sunday, November 8th to the 9th. I was trying to get a booth here. Because I'm ready to find out about art booths where I could do shows and stuff, but I'll try to get a booth there. Not happening because again, it's already too late. It's already been closed for me. But so yeah, so this was happening right here. It's in the same weekend, and Anime Expo Chibi does not like that, and so they're like, we want to make sure that people go to this one, not to Pasadena. Even though Pasadena is still like new, is there in the 7th year. But if you think about it, Anime Chibi is actually new too. It's only 4 years. They also got community noted, guys. So it says right here, Anime Expo Chibi claims that this isn't about limited opportunities, but it literally does that. It requires artists to not appear in other events in the area 2 weeks before and after Anime Expo Chibi. So pretty much, you're not allowed to do vendor stuff within a month, right? 2 weeks. Then the weekend for Anime Chibi, and then 2 more weeks for, you know, you cannot participate in any other vendors. So that's pretty much is a month and some change, right? And that is damn, bro. So that means that, like, in a whole month you're not allowed to do another vendor, right? For me, that's no problem for me. I will gladly do it because I don't do a lot of vendor stuff, guys. I only do like maybe one every month, or I try to do one every 2 months or something like that. Again, I'm very new to this, guys. I'm barely getting back into doing art booths and stuff like that. So for me, it would not be a problem. But for people who are veterans or who are con goers, etc., who do this as a job, like they do it every single month, multiple a month or whatever, yeah, they do not like that for obvious reasons. There are people saying that this is illegal, which I can't fully confirm, but they put it this right here. Of like, I guess right here it says employees deserve to freedom to seek better opportunities, better wages by finding new employment within their industry. Agreements that restrict employees' mobility, such as not complete agreements, no poach agreements, no trap, undermine their freedom, said Attorney General Bonta. I urge all Californians to be aware of unlawful nature, anti-competitive contracts, and their potential impacts on career advancement and wage growth. If you believe you are being affected by this agreement, report it to my office. So again, this is a lawyer thing. Again, I cannot say I confirm this, even though I'm reading this. I cannot confirm or say, yeah, that's totally how they do it, because there are such thing as that where like you're exclusive on a certain platform. For example, content creators, there was a time where there was a exclusive rights to your streaming content, I guess you could say, where you can only allowed to stream on a certain platform. Like you're only allowed to stream on Kick, you're only allowed to stream on Twitch, you're only allowed to stream on YouTube, etc. So they used to be a thing like that in the content creating world. And I guess I'm not 100% sure on this, but I guess this maybe, or they wanted to start one in the Artist Alley world. But since their response was not liked, guys, we actually got their website is under construction right now. Let me switch my screen real quick, guys, so I guess you can see the whole thing. So this is right here, Anime Expo Lego. You know, looking around, you can see the TNC is under construction. There's nothing there. So it is true, guys. It is true. It's as of right now, me making this video on August. Is it August, guys? I feel like it's not even August yet, man. It's just so weird how it's August. Anyways, sorry. As of August 21st, there is no news about their new terms and conditions. So we'll see when the new ones comes out. I'll probably put like a link to it when there's an update going on the comments below when this video is up, guys. So yeah, let me know, what do you guys think about all of this? Do you guys think that conventions should have a non-complete cost to artists in general, or like, you know, music performers, vendors, etc., just so like they could like try to minimize the competition, I guess? Or it's just ridiculous and it's like, it is what it is, you cannot do that, and you just have to like make a better event, you know what I mean? That's literally it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think over in the comments below. And is this gonna be the start of something where they're gonna start adding these complete costs to like other places, like different cons and vendor conventions, etc., expos, where like they gotta have that in their contract, like, hey, so you're gonna do this event, you're not allowed to do an event within 2 weeks before or after, you know, of doing this event. So that'd be kind of crazy if that happens, because that would change the whole landscape of Artist Alley, like the whole thing. But yeah, let me know. I'll let you guys know if I get in Anime Expo Chibi, because maybe a lot of artists did back out. Like I said, for me, guys, it's not a big deal because I don't do a lot of vendor stuff. I don't do a lot of like Artist Alleys right now until next year. So that's why it's not a big deal for me not to do a Artist Alley in a month or so, right? I'm not in that situation. I'm not like doing that right now. So again, but I do understand why artists do not like that, because again, it's just pausing their opportunities pretty much. So let me know. All right, hit the like, subscribe, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out, what's up, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Woo!